So this is our define our greatness goal. First of all, if we are not defining any goals, then where are we going? That is the first thing we need to define, because that is our point, right? Where we focus on. And many of us, all of us, kind of don't define because we can't trust that those goals are achievable. Many of the goals are not achievable at the beginning, but in any ways, in any case, you might like to be there. So what do you do in that case? You need to have the process, right? And you should be willing to go through those process. So let us begin, and I'll share my screen so that we can have our exercises also side by side. Defining greatness goals. So this is the section. And I'll add another slide also, new slide, in which we will go through as and when something comes up. These steps, let us define those as the steps, because this is very interesting subject. It is going to be a very interesting subject as to how we are going to get there, right? Yeah. So share the screen. Yeah. The greatness goals. Ever since I was a kid, the Summer Olympics have always been inspiring to me. A few months after I got my cast off and I had taken up residence on my sister's couch, I watched the 2008 Beijing Olympics all day and all night for 2 weeks. Michael Phelps was the breakout athlete, swimming his way to medal after medal. All across different sports, Olympic records were broken. And there I was on the couch, wondering if I would ever play sports again. Then, late one night, around 3 a.m., actually, I saw highlights for a sport called team handball. I was blown away. I had never even heard of it before, but now I was intrigued and Googled everything I could about team handball. It's big in Europe, but few people play it in the US. It's a mix between basketball and lacrosse, soccer, but using hands. Super fast paced, the games are only 60 minutes long. Players shoot a mini soccer ball into a little soccer goal, trying to score more goals than the opposing team. It is similar to basketball, but players can take 3 steps before they have to dribble, pass, or shoot. I became convinced this was the sport I was meant to play. I had just retired from playing football, but didn't feel like I was done as an athlete. So I started Googling more and emailing and calling people trying to find out about USA handball team. I wanted to make the Olympics. I wanted to play with Team USA. I discovered there were no teams in Ohio, where I was. There wasn't even any professional league in the USA. There were only club teams around the country, and the top one was in New York City. I found out no one gets paid to play. It is just for fun. But that didn't matter. I needed to figure out a way to make enough money to move to NYC to learn handball, play with this team, and make the USA national team to go to the Olympics. As I'm sure you can guess by now, I went all in. I became obsessed. I repeatedly contacted the USA organization, but it was nearly impossible to get anyone on the phone or to respond to an email. By early 2010, 2 years later, I had finally made enough money from my online marketing business to go to NYC. I still couldn't reach anyone, but I found the New York City Handball Club website. They didn't have an email or a phone number, just a physical address where they practiced. When I went to New York for a month or a couple of speeches, I decided I would show up at this handball thing and see what I could do. When I got there, I discovered I was the only native born American. There were about 30 players from every country in Europe speaking a wide variety of languages. I tried the direct approach. Hey, my name is Lewis from Ohio. I am here to learn the sport of handball, make the USA national team, and go to the Olympics. They laughed at me. They started talking to each other in every other language but English. Finally, someone translated. Who are you? You are outrageous, they said. We just won the national championship last weekend, and this is our last practice of the year. We are just doing it for fun. We are going to play soccer today. We are not even playing handball. Come back in 3 months when we start to practice again. I told them I would be back then, and I started building in relationship with some of the guys. One of them taught me a little bit to prepare for the next time. I ended up staying in New York and a few months later started practicing with them. I just dove in, took on the challenge, and did the uncomfortable thing by moving to a new city to learn a new sport I had never played before with people who were from different backgrounds and cultural experiences. I spoke a different language than they did, but I was determined. I started practicing consistently. I had a skill set from football, but I wasn't a skilled handball player. My surgery from a couple of years prior meant I still wasn't at full capacity, but I did have the athleticism and I was willing to do the hard work. 9 months after I first showed up in NYC, I made the USA national team and went to the Pan American Championships in Buenos Aires, Argentina, for my first international competitions. I was one step closer to making this dream come true, and I became even more obsessed. For 9 years, I played with the US national team, representing my country while building my business. I played in Spain for a little while for a professional team. I went all in playing the sport and went on to play over the world: Israel, London, Luxembourg, Brazil, Uruguay, Mexico, Canada, and all over the United States. The challenge for making the Olympics was that the only way to do so was qualifying at one tournament every 4 years, called the Pan American Games. It is not like most Olympic sports where most countries get to send a team or representative. Only one team from North and South America advances to the Olympics. All the countries of North and South America come together for a half world Olympics to determine who will be that team. So you can have a win the Pan American Games to advance to the Olympics in handball. Brazil, Argentina, and Chile have professional leagues. They have been playing for years and are really talented, but we were all amateurs in the USA. It didn't matter how good I could get personally, the team would have to win. It wasn't impossible, but it was so hard. However, if we were the host country of the Olympics, we would have had an automatic qualification. We tried for 2016 and 2020, but the USA didn't get it then. But the summer games are happening in Los Angeles in 2028, so anything is possible. Either way, one of the proudest moments of my life was playing on the USA team. It is so fascinating that Lewis Howes, a celebrated businessman, maybe, and an influencer, still hopes to get to the USA team in 2028, and he has not done yet. He is not describing something which is already happened. He is describing something which is not yet happened, and he is not a professional player either. So if you compare yourself with this. I am comparing myself with this. It is an impossible goal for him. Anything can happen, yes, of course, but it is as impossible to him as it is for me to have a lifestyle of 10 crore rupees a month, let alone a dollar. So let me have the steps. Do you have the steps right now to go through that kind of training? When you don't set goals, if you don't set goals, so set goals. So let me color this as this. So this is the first step. If you don't set goals, you will have a hard time achieving greatness because you won't have a clear picture of where you are going. When you can't see your direction clearly, you can't map out a strategy to get there. In football, for example, the goal is to win the game by getting the ball into the end zone to score enough points needed to win. Without this set goal to strive for and a strategy for getting there, players would just wander aimlessly around the field. It would be no fun to watch and no fun to play. As an athlete, I have always thought that it is super smart to have goals. I have always had goals for every season of life and every season of my sports career. Goals give me the focus and determination to get to where I want to go. After I stopped playing professional sports and was trying to figure out the rest of my life, I realized I didn't have the same confidence of the field. A lot of my confidence had come from clearly knowing my goal and the strategy. Without a goal to achieve, I lost my focus and wandered aimlessly. Maybe you can relate. You need to have set goals and the focus and drive to achieve them. If you aren't getting the outcome you want, you probably need to evaluate your goals and focus. Without clear goals, it is easy to get distracted by other people's values and goals. As usual, Rory Vaden gets right to the point. You just have to decide what you are willing to do and wanting to go after, and realize that until you accomplish those things, everything else is a distraction. But focus is power. When you have diluted focus, you get diluted results. Most people are getting diluted results in their life, not because they are not smart enough or not good enough, but because they are distracted. They are allowing their time, attention, and resources to fragment. What you need is focused energy to create a breakthrough. Diluted focus equals diluted results. That is especially true as you become more successful and have even more potential distractions and competing priorities. The results you want simply won't happen without being lesser focused on your meaningful mission. That is what leads to a lot of people to feel like they are not making progress. Dr. Benjamin Hardy, co-author of The Gap and the Gain, with Dan Sullivan, described it to me this way. One thing that leads people to burnout is spending a lot of energy and not actually feeling like they are making progress. I have a lot of energy when I achieve a goal. Achieving goals gives you energy. It is exciting. If you actually give yourself deadlines, create a result, and watch yourself succeed, you just build confidence because you measured yourself against where you were before you achieved the goal, rather than against your goal, against your ideal. When you see yourself move forward, that gives you excitement. Success creates confidence and motivation. Watching yourself get some wins, both big and small, gives you energy. Perhaps nowhere is focus strategy more critical than in the military. Former Navy SEAL Jason Redman told me when they identify a target, They break it down so they know exactly where they are going and what they are dealing with. They also establish a very defined course for how to get there. Every single action is broken out and every contingency planned for so there is no deviation from the plan. In other words, they set goals and support those goals with a plan of action. Jason told me the process is a lot like when he decided as a kid that he wanted to become a Navy SEAL. Because he knew his goal, he could create a clear strategy for getting there. He would need to enlist in the Navy, get accepted, get a SEAL contract, pass the SEAL screening test, and pass a specific academic test with a high enough score to be a SEAL. When he broke the journey down in this way, it was easier to see the path he needed to take to achieve his goal. It works the same way for you. You can easily take it one step at a time, chipping away at the steps needed to get you where you want to be. Instead of wandering aimlessly through life, I challenge you to take time to define your goals and map out the strategy to achieve your meaningful mission. My personal goal setting. I have been a big fan of the technique of scheduling your goals after learning the value of it from my football coach. At the start of the season, he would establish our goals as a team by asking us questions. What is our goal, team? He would ask. What do we want to accomplish? Set team goals. Do we want to win the championship? Do we want to go to the playoffs? How many games do we want to win? Do we want to become better in each position? We would then come up with our shared goals. I remember the first day of practice. I had a schedule in my locker. So did every person in the locker room. I was 15-year-old and it was the first time I ever saw a calendar like this. For every minute with intentional actions to help us reach the goal for that day. There was a 5-minute break for water. There was a 10-minute stretching break. There was an offense section and a defense section. It measured the goals and easily showed how far away or how close we were to achieving them. Every single thing had been accounted for and planned out. That is when I said, oh, I need to do this in my life, and I have never gone back. Even after professional sports ended, I didn't know why anyone would do anything but schedule what they want and actually follow through on. I have used that system for the last 20 years. Everything I want to do has to be in the calendar. If I want to talk to my mom, it is in the calendar. If I want to work out, it is in the calendar. If I am writing a book, it is in the calendar. It is not just a matter of writing out a list of things I want to do for the day and then getting distracted. I live each minute by my schedule. It brings clarity to my life and assures I am taking the steps necessary to achieve my goals. I have found that one of the most impactful things for my schedule is how I start the day. So I developed a personal morning routine that allows me to be consistently as productive as possible. To start my day off, I need to sleep. Getting a full 7 to 8 hours of proper restful sleep affects the energy and focus for my entire day. Make my bed. Accomplishing something little fast thing when I wake up builds my momentum for success. Move my body. Exercising helps to cleanse my mind and body. Get a cold shower. Showering in cold water makes me feel awake and alive and is great for the immune system. meditate. Releasing tension and expressing gratitude clears my mind. A good morning routine sets the tone for the rest of the day. You are able to control and set your schedule better. The more positive the first hour, the more powerful the rest of the day. When you come from a place of creation and not reaction, you make your life as opposed to letting it make you in a negative way. As I have interviewed so many of the elite performers who are accomplishing their goals and pursuing their dreams, I have found that they invest in their goals and dreams by setting up a schedule and structure and building accountability and coaching into it all. Katie Milkman says research shows you will get more results if you follow through with a schedule rather than merely expecting it to happen. Planning for success is key. Planning for success is key, although we don't know the exact why, exact why, exact how. What are you going to do and when? Milkman says also important to have if then plans. If then plans. Milkman. Based on research by Peter Gollwitzer, who studied how people plan their goals, the people with the most follow through had specific structure and details in place. They were more likely to accomplish their goals by using expressions such as, if X happens, then I will do Y. If it is Monday at 5 p.m., then I'll go to the gym to train for my marathon. Instead of merely focusing on the outcomes and knowing what needs to be done, you will be more likely to act if you write down specific times and details. Tracking your goals and seeing the difference your actions make is also key for implementing behavioral change. Milkman explained that if you can't easily see where you are in the journey, it becomes difficult to reward yourself, which is important for your feeling of fulfillment as you move forward. The greatness performance system. Your goals can change in different seasons of life. When I was playing sports, my goal was to be in the best shape of my life. When I was living on my sister's couch, my goal became to get off the couch and live a productive life. It begins with your meaningful mission statement for this season of life. Remember, not having a clear, meaningful mission is the enemy of greatness. It is important to write it down and keep it visible as you seek to set goals to help you achieve it. Without it, you have no guide, no direction, and nothing to work towards. Who are you? What do you want to create? When you get control of your vision, mission, and goals, you can start living an intentional life throughout the day and ask yourself, what am I doing today to support my mission? What am I doing today to support my mission? So I am doing two things. One is reading this book for you so that you can also get help. And the second thing is I'm recording this video and I'm creating a content for my YouTube channel. And when people watch it, even if they watch for say 2 minutes or 3 minutes in between, it will help them. And they would like to read it themselves and create those their own mission state. So the meaningful mission that I have is behind, right? To have a cleaner, calmer, cooler, and greener planet. And with a multi-billion dollar enterprise so that I can innovate because my innovations are threefold. It is all about livelihoods. Why do we create so much of carbon footprint? Because we are working towards our own livelihoods, right? Because we are creating our food. So if that food is created within the community, there is no need to commute. Then you don't have pollution, right? And if you have sufficient and more than sufficiency, then you will be a calmer person, right? And it will be green anyway. So I have uh, three visions. One is a community building, community greening, and then the one tree system. Those require a lot of research and innovation. And the third is to have sea culture. So sea is a like say 3 times more than the land. Why not use the sea for our food? Can we not do that? Then we can waste nothing. Whatever goes to the sea is not a wastage then. It will be an investment. Let me write it down in my notebook. So this is one of my ideas. So I'll start writing my ideas here. So it is such a great thing to write down ideas, right? When you get control of your vision, mission, and goals, you can start living an intentional life. Yes. In my own life, I have found a lot of power in the simplicity of the number three. So I developed a way of thinking about performance using a focus on three. Three players, three goals, three questions. I use this question system to create the greatness performance system, GPS, or the game plan for my life. I like to think of the different domains of life as three players I have on the field at any given time: business, relationships, and wellness. It might be tempting to focus on, and let me get business, relationship, and wellness. Focus on only one or two of these areas, but all three are important for lasting success. If you are not healthy, your relationships and business will eventually suffer. If your relationships aren't vibrant, they will distract you and cause your business to fall short. But when your wellness and relationships thrive, your business or career dreams are positioned to soar. I prioritize these three players in this way to best position myself to achieve greatness. Each player has three areas that require attention to be well balanced and healthy: business, income, influence, impact; relationships, personal, professional, community; wellness, physical, mindset, emotional health. So business is about income, influence, impact. Relationship is about personal, professional, and community. Wellness, physical, mindset, emotional health. I go through a process to develop my top goals for each area. So I end up with 9 total, but that is still too many to really give them focused attention. I then choose the single most important goal for each player, business, relationships, or wellness, and focus only on achieving those 3 goals at any time. When it comes to goals, a lot of people feel stuck. And I think it is because they don't set goals correctly, including because they have too many goals. They end up with a to do list that feels overwhelming. As counterintuitive as it may seem, you need to focus on fewer goals to achieve more. That doesn't mean you ignore certain areas of your life entirely. They simply do not have your most intense focus in terms of the goals you are pursuing. So, uh, let us see the focused goals. How now we come to the focused goals, right? So we'll what do I want? Money and raised. So it is about abundance, tranquility, inclusion. So these are the 3 things that I want. Tranquility. What is wrong out here? Okay, double L. Why do I want it? Why do I want it? Security, peace, and innovation. Answering this question helps me reconnect to my meaningful mission and tap into my deep motivation to take action. Sometimes when I ask this question, I struggle to answer, which may indicate I need to ask myself another question. Do I really want it? And I also have another learning. When you want something, it will not be easy always at the moment where you are. It might be a lot of things, lot of questions will be there, which is not ordinary. So stick to your extraordinariness, uh, even under that uneasy situation. What is the next step? What is the next step? keep helping, serving, and connecting. That is what I'm doing, right? Using this power of three approach in the greatness performance system gives me focus in all areas of my life and specific goals to achieve greatness. I can then schedule the next steps and break down my goals into daily actionable steps. Three questions. Let us color it as this one. Yeah. So first three questions, then daily actionable steps. I love seeing members of our greatness coaching community apply this proven GPS process to their own lives and businesses to experience breakthrough success. And I look forward to hearing your stories of what you achieved by applying it to your own greatness journey. Engaging greatness. People who are part of our greatness coaching program get to use an entire greatness playbook we created to guide people through the goal setting and achievement process to get results. Here is a piece of the broader goal setting activity to help you get started in setting and scheduling goals using the paradigms I just shared. Your GPS goal setting plan. For each of the three players and 9 areas, answer each of the following questions. What do I want my life to look like in this area in 3 years? This dream question gets the imagination moving. Answer the questions as if there were nothing standing in the way of making it happen. This isn't formal. No need to be neat and grammatically correct. Just let your imagination flow. So let us get into another slide so that we can write. How do I be in 3 years' time and why? So this needs writing. So let us leave it here. Sometimes we think we want something until we dare to drill down into why we want it. When we do, we may discover we don't really want it at all. Other times, we can tap into deeper motivation to fuel us as we move towards it. You may need to ask these questions a couple of times to really get at the core of your motivation. Based on your answers, what is the single most important goal for each of your 9 areas? Businesses, income goal, influence goals, impact goals. Relationships, personal goal, professional goal, community goal. Wellness, physical goal, mindset goal, mental health goal. Choose only one goal from each player, business, relationship, wellness. Then answer the following 3 questions about each goal to position you to take action. Repeat the process as you take the next steps to keep giving yourself the clarity you need to keep moving forward. What do I want? Why do I want it? What is the next step? So these 3 questions need to be asked once you set up your goals in each area. So these are the questions I need to answer later. So out of these three, I want, what is the most important thing that I want? So what do I want? Is abundance. Why do I want? Peace, security, right? What is the next step? Is about so I'll try this and let us stop it right now so that I can go back and write it down in my own time. Also, in the meantime, you can start this exercise on your own thing, and we will discuss about it in a later video. Thank you for watching.